The sunlight hits the chrome, and for a second my driveway looks like a stage. A bad community theater stage. On one side, me. Black leather jacket, red undershirt, jeans, boots planted firm on the oil-stained concrete. Next to me, my bike. An Oro 6 Dyna. Red tank, chrome everywhere. Clean and loud without shouting. 88 cubic inches of American iron my grandpa left me. It's not just a machine, it's a memory. It's the last real thing I have of him. On the other side, the antagonists. Kylie Trent, president of our esteemed homeowners association, stands with her arms crossed. Her pink jacket is so bright it hurts my eyes. It screams fake cheerfulness. Next to her, her son Evan, a tall kid, maybe 16, drowning in a gray hoodie, blue shirt, and a smirk playing on his lips like he's watching a show he already knows the ending to. In the background, 2 police officers stand on the curb by the lawn. They look bored. They've seen this movie before. They just want it to be over so they can get back to real police work. The air is thick with the smell of freshly cut grass and self-righteous indignation. It's a smell I've gotten used to in this neighborhood. This bike, Kylie says, her voice sharp enough to cut glass, is a nuisance. It's a violation. And as of this moment, Mr. Hart, it is ours now. She taps Evan's shoulder. He turns 17 next month. He'll keep it quiet and safe. We're taking possession for him. Evan mutters that his mom said I'd give it to him anyway. She points a perfectly manicured finger at the bike. The sheer audacity of it almost makes me laugh. Almost. Evan's smirk widens. He thinks this is a done deal. He thinks his mom holds all the cards. I just look at her. I don't raise my voice. I don't get angry. Anger is a waste of energy. My grandpa taught me that. He was a mechanic. A man who believed in process and order. Fix the problem. Don't yell at it. So, I wait for her to finish her little speech. She goes on about noise ordinances she wrote herself, about aesthetic violations, about the supposed dozens of complaints from anonymous neighbors who I know for a fact have never said a word to me. The 2 cops shift their weight. One of them, the older one with a tired mustache, finally steps forward. He's the lead. "Ma'am," he says to Kylie, his tone flat, professional. "We're here because you reported a vehicle in violation of a lien you claim the HOA has placed on it." He then turns to me. "Sir, is this your vehicle?" I nod. I don't say a word. I just reach into my jacket pocket and pull out a crisp, clear plastic sleeve. Inside is the title, the registration, my insurance card, all of it laminated. I keep tight paperwork. It's a habit from my years turning wrenches in a shop. If you don't document it, it didn't happen. I hand the sleeve to the officer. He takes it, his eyes scanning the documents. He walks over to the bike, crouches down, and compares the VIN on the title to the VIN stamped on the neck of the frame. A perfect match. He snaps a photo of the VIN next to my title for his report. Of course it is. He stands up and hands the sleeve back to me. "The vehicle is legally registered to Mr. Hart," he says, looking back at Kylie. "The title is clean. No lines from any financial institution, and no liens on file with the DMV." Kylie's face tightens. The fake smile evaporates. "But our bylaws, the fines. We have a lien for unpaid fines," she insists, her voice rising an octave. The officer shakes his head slowly. "That's a civil matter, ma'am. An HOA fine doesn't give you the right to seize personal property without a court order. We can't take his motorcycle. There's no probable cause to believe a crime has been committed. He's on his own property. He's by the book. I appreciate that. Too many people aren't." Evan's smirk finally fades, replaced by a confused frown. This wasn't in the script his mother gave him. He looks from the cop to his mom, waiting for her to fix it, to pull some other rule out of her designer handbag. But she's got nothing for now. Her power, the only thing she truly cares about, has just been publicly checked. She stands there sputtering about lawyers and board authority. The cop just gives her a patient, weary look. "Our involvement here is done," he tells her. He reads me an incident number and logs it as a civil dispute. No probable cause, no seizure. He turns to his partner. They walk back to their cruiser. Kylie isn't used to being told no. Her entire world is built on the flimsy authority of the HOA rulebook she wields like a weapon. She looks at me and her eyes are cold. The public performance is over. This is a promise, a threat. "This isn't over, Ben," she says, her voice a low hiss. I just give her a slow, deliberate nod. I know people like her don't give up. They just change tactics. They find a back door. They work in the shadows. The police cruiser pulls away from the curb, leaving the three of us in the quiet afternoon sun. Evan, now looking uncomfortable, tugs on his mom's sleeve. She yanks her arm away, never taking her eyes off me and my bike. She's memorizing every detail, calculating her next move. I can almost hear the gears turning in her head. She failed in the light of day with witnesses in uniform. Her next attempt would be different. It would come in the dark. Uncle Donnie shuffles up the driveway with a leaf blower and a decibel meter. "Science time," he says. He fires the blower. 92 dB. He points at my Dyna. "Start it." I bump the starter. Let it idle. He holds the meter at the curb like a referee. 79. He nods, proud. Quieter than Kylie's crew. Rosa leans over her fence with a thumbs up. A kid on a scooter yells, "Cool bike, mister." I shut it down. The street goes still again. The numbers help more than anger does. Paper beats volume. Proof beats yelling. This whole mess didn't start today. It started the day Kylie Trent decided this neighborhood was her personal kingdom. I've lived here for 5 years. Bought this modest little house because it had a 2-car garage and was close to the highway. It was quiet, peaceful, a place to come home to after a long day, clean the grease from under my fingernails, and have a cold beer in my own backyard. For the first couple of years, it was exactly that. The HOA was just a formality, a thing you pay dues to for landscaping the common areas. Then Kylie got herself elected president. She ran on a platform of protecting our property values. What that really meant was enforcing her personal preferences on everyone else. It started small. Fines for leaving your garbage cans out an hour too long. Nasty letters about the wrong shade of white on your window trim. My neighbor, Uncle Donnie, a retiree who spends all day tending his garden, got a $200 fine for a non-conforming lawn ornament. It was a fishing gnome. A gnome. Kylie has this way of making the ridiculous sound reasonable. She cloaks her power grabs in the language of community and order. She's smart. I'll give her that. She knows how to manipulate the bylaws, twisting vague phrases into concrete threats. She has a small loyal group on the board who rubber stamp whatever she wants, either because they're intimidated or because they enjoy the crumbs of power she throws their way. Most residents just pay the fines to make her go away. They're too busy with their jobs, their kids, their lives to fight a $50 penalty for grass that's a quarter-inch too high. They grumble. They complain to each other over the fence. But they don't fight. Fighting takes time and energy, and Kylie has an endless supply of both when it comes to controlling her little fiefdom. My trouble started about 6 months ago. The first notice appeared in my mailbox, a crisp white envelope with the HOA logo. It was a warning. My motorcycle, it said, was a commercial-grade vehicle and was not to be parked in the driveway for more than 4 hours. I read it and laughed. A Harley is not a commercial vehicle. It's a motorcycle. I wrote a polite formal letter back, citing the state vehicle code that defines commercial vehicles. I included a copy of the bike's registration. I put it all in a neat folder. Folder 1, tab 1. A week later, another notice. This one was a $100 fine. The reason had changed. Now the bike was a source of excessive noise. This I knew was also garbage. My bike has baffles. It's a deep rumble, not a window-shattering scream. It's quieter than the lawn crew Kylie herself hired. I went to the next HOA meeting. I stood up and presented my case calmly. I pointed out that the noise complaint wasn't tied to a specific time or date, and that the bike complied with all state and local decibel level ordinances. Kylie smiled that tight, condescending smile of hers and said the board would take my comments under advisement. The fine stood. I didn't pay it. Instead, I filed it. Folder 1, tab 2. The notices kept coming. The reasons became more and more absurd. Aesthetic blight. Leaking of hazardous fluids on a bike that has never leaked a drop of anything in its life. The fines piled up. Each notice was more threatening than the last. They were building a paper trail, trying to create a justification for something bigger. I knew it. I just didn't know what her endgame was. After the standoff in the driveway today, I do. It's not about the money. It's not about the noise. It's about the bike itself. It's a symbol of something she can't control. It's loud, it's chrome, it's freedom. It doesn't fit into her sterile beige vision of the perfect suburban street. My grandpa, he would have understood. He used to say that some people are so desperate to build a perfect cage for themselves, they can't stand to see anyone else flying free. Kylie Trent wants me in a cage. She wants my bike gone. She wants to win. I sit in my garage that night, the door closed, a single bare bulb hanging from the ceiling. The bike is parked in the center of the floor, the chrome gleaming even in the dim light. I run a hand over the fuel tank. It's cool to the touch. I check the little black disc I stuck under the seat months ago. An AirTag, a tiny simple piece of tech, a digital leash just in case. I check the angle on my garage camera, the one pointed down the driveway. Its little red light is on. It's watching, waiting. The police leaving today wasn't the end. It was an intermission. I know people like Kylie. A public failure doesn't make them quit. It makes them dig in. It makes them angry. And an angry person with a little bit of power is the most dangerous thing in the world. The sun has set. The street lights have flickered on. The neighborhood is settling down for the night. But I know she's out there somewhere plotting. And I know her next move won't be a public spectacle. It will be quiet. It will be illegal. It will be tonight. It happens at 2:17 a.m. I'm not asleep. I'm in my armchair watching the live feed from my doorbell camera on my tablet. I've been expecting company. A notification pops up on my phone. Motion detected in the driveway. On the screen, a dark unmarked flatbed tow truck is backing slowly up to my garage. No lights. The engine is a low growl, barely audible. This isn't a standard repo job. This is a snatch and grab. Two figures get out. They're dressed in dark clothes, hoodies up, faces obscured. They move with a practiced efficiency that's unsettling. One acts as a lookout while the other gets to work on the garage door. I don't have a fancy security system, just good old-fashioned deadbolts and a heavy door. But they aren't trying to break in. They have a tool, a thin, long piece of metal. They slide it under the door, fishing for the emergency release cord. It's a common vulnerability. A minute later, I hear the click. The door is disconnected from the opener. They lift it manually, just enough to get inside. The garage is dark, but the truck's residual light catches the chrome of the Harley. They don't waste a second. They wheel it out, silent as ghosts. No alarms, no fuss. They have straps ready on the flatbed. They lash it down quickly, expertly. The whole operation takes less than 5 minutes. They lower the garage door, get back in the truck and pull away. The street is silent again, as if they were never there. My heart isn't pounding. My hands aren't shaking. I feel a strange, cold calm settle over me. It's the feeling you get when the thing you've been waiting for finally happens. The dread is gone, replaced by a clear, sharp sense of purpose. This is what she does. This is who she is. She couldn't win in the light, so she sent thieves in the night. It's not about bylaws anymore. It's grand theft. I saved the video footage from the garage cam. It's high definition. I zoom in on the truck as it pulls away. The license plate is dirty, but the camera's night vision is good enough. I can make out the numbers and letters clearly. I write them down. Another piece of paper for the file. Then I open the Find My app on my phone. For a moment, the AirTag under the Harley's seat shows its last known location. My house. Then, it updates. The little blue dot starts moving. It stalls once, then jumps. AirTags ping when a nearby phone passes. Plenty of traffic by this lot. It crawls down my street, turns onto the main road and heads south. It's working. The digital breadcrumb trail is live. I grab my keys, my leather jacket, and head out to my truck. I don't call 911, not yet. A stolen vehicle report at this hour will get me a patrol officer in maybe an hour, a case number, and not much else. They have bigger fish to fry. This fish is mine. I need to see where it goes. I need to know where they're taking it. The law works best when you hand it a complete, undeniable package. Right now, I'm just starting to wrap it. I follow the dot on my phone. It's not a high-speed chase. I stay a few blocks behind, my headlights off whenever I can, letting the app guide me. The tow truck isn't speeding. It's moving like any other vehicle on the road, trying to draw no attention. It heads for the industrial part of town, a place of warehouses and empty lots. After about a 20-minute drive, the dot stops moving. It settles in a location I know. It's a defunct strip mall. One of those sad, forgotten places with boarded-up windows and a parking lot full of weeds. The kind of place things go to disappear. I park my truck a block away and walk the rest of the way, sticking to the shadows. I pull my phone out and switch to the camera. It's time to be a witness to my own crime scene. A motion light pops on. My shadow leaps across the wall. I freeze behind a busted ice machine. A cat knocks a bottle over. It rolls and clinks like a bell. One of the tow guys half turns, then shrugs and climbs in the cab. The truck idles, coughs, dies, then restarts with a rattling belt. I'm filming through a crack in the fence, breathing slow. A security car drifts by on the far street. I duck so fast my knee hits a sprinkler head. Pain blooms. I don't swear. The camera stays steady. When the flatbed finally pulls away, I'm still rolling. My Harley sits alone by the dumpster, paint catching the light like a heartbeat. I peek around the corner of the last building. There it is. The flatbed truck is parked in the darkest corner of the lot away from the streetlights. The two figures are unstrapping my bike. They wheel it off the ramp and push it behind a large graffiti-covered dumpster out of sight from the main road. My bike, my grandpa's bike, hidden behind a dumpster like a piece of trash. A surge of hot, raw anger flashes through me. The first real emotion I've felt all night. I fight it down. Emotion is a liability. Methodical. That's how you win. The two men get back in their truck, and without a backward glance, they drive off, leaving my Harley alone in the dark. I stay put. Phone recording, my breath misting in the cool night air. The first part of her plan is complete. The bike is gone. Now comes the second part. The part where she thinks she can finally break me. The sun isn't even up yet, but I'm already on my third cup of coffee. I'm sitting at my kitchen table, the air still and quiet. In front of me is my laptop. On the screen is a clear, wide shot of the dark strip mall parking lot. My Harley is a faint silhouette behind that dumpster. I've been recording all night using my phone's camera propped up carefully on the dashboard of my truck from a safe distance. The tow truck left hours ago. Nothing has moved since. The AirTag still shows the bike right where they left it. It feels like a piece of me is out there sitting in the cold. I called the non-emergency police line about an hour ago. I gave them the story. My motorcycle was stolen and I have its current location via a tracking device. The dispatcher was professional, but sounded tired. She took my information, gave me a report number, and said an officer would be dispatched to the location to verify. "Sir, do not approach the vehicle yourself," she warned, her voice a monotone script. "Wait for the officers to arrive." I told her I would. I have no intention of playing hero. That's how you get hurt. Or worse, how you get a case thrown out. I'm not just a victim here. I'm the primary witness. My credibility has to be rock solid. So I wait. The sun starts to rise, painting the sky in shades of gray and orange. Finally, a police cruiser pulls into the strip mall lot. I watch on my screen as two officers get out. They approach the dumpster cautiously. One of them shines a powerful flashlight behind it. The beam catches the chrome. They've found it. One officer speaks into his radio while the other starts looking around the area. They're doing their jobs, securing the scene. They run the plate which I had already given the dispatcher. It will come back as registered to me. They confirm the VIN. Another piece of the puzzle clicks into place. The officer who arrives at my house about an hour later is the same one from the standoff yesterday. The older guy with the mustache. He recognizes me. A flicker of something, maybe sympathy, maybe just exhaustion, crosses his face. "Mr. Hart," he says. "We seem to be seeing a lot of each other." I invite him in. I show him my camera footage of the theft, the dark truck, the obscured faces, the clean, professional way they took the bike. I give him the license plate number I got from the video. He writes it all down in his little notebook. "We recovered the vehicle," he confirms. "It's being taken to the city impound lot as evidence. You'll be able to get it back once we process the scene." He tells me what I already know. A stolen vehicle case with no witnesses and disguised suspects is a tough one to crack. They'll run the tow truck's plate, but it will probably come back to a shell corporation. It's a dead end unless they get a break. "Thanks, officer," I say, shaking his hand. "I appreciate the help." He nods and leaves. Now the bike is safe. It's in police custody. That's good. But this is far from over. This was never just about stealing the bike. It was about leverage. Kylie thinks she has me cornered. She thinks I'm a desperate victim, scared and willing to do anything to get my property back. She's about to play her hand, and I need to be ready to record it. My phone rings late that afternoon. The caller ID is blocked. I let it ring twice, take a deep breath, and tap the screen. "Hello," I say, my voice neutral. I walk over to the small digital voice recorder I keep on my desk and press the record button. It's a one-party consent state. As long as I'm part of the conversation, it's legal for me to record it. "Ben, it's Kylie Trent. Her voice is smooth as silk, dripping with phony concern. I heard about what happened. It's just terrible. This neighborhood is really going downhill. I don't say anything. I just let her talk. Let her build her own trap. It's such a shame, she continues. The police, they rarely recover these things. And if they do, the impound fees are just astronomical. She pauses, letting the bait hang in the air. This is the moment, the pivot from concerned neighbor to shark. I can feel it coming. She thinks I don't know where my bike is. She thinks I'm helpless. The dawning realization hits me with the force of a physical blow. The theft, the hiding spot. It was all just theater, a way to create a problem that only she could solve. It wasn't a dead end. It was an invitation. But Ben, Kylie says, her voice dropping to a confidential whisper, there might be a way to resolve all of this for everyone's benefit. I stay silent. The best thing to do when someone is digging their own grave is to hand them a bigger shovel. I know this call is the whole point of the exercise. This is the real crime. The theft was just the setup. The extortion is the punchline. She thinks she's being clever, but all I can hear is the sound of a predator closing in, completely unaware that its prey is sitting in a steel trap. I have connections, she says, a touch of pride in her voice. Sometimes when things go missing, they have a way of turning up, especially when the owner shows a little community spirit. Community spirit. That's a new one. I make a non-committal sound, a little grunt to let her know I'm still listening. I need her to spell it out. I need it to be unmistakable. Before this call came in, I had made another one. My first call right after the police left was to Mark Dwyer. Mark works in the white-collar crime division of the state attorney's office. I know him through a mutual friend. We've shared a few beers, talked about old cars and bikes. He's a good guy, a straight shooter. I told him the whole story from the first HOA notice to the overnight theft. He listened patiently. When I got to the part about the standoff with the cops, he got quiet. When I told him the bike had been stolen hours later, he said 2 words, pattern of coercion. He told me to expect a call from her. He said it would be the key. She's going to try to extort you. Whatever you do, keep her on the line. She's going to offer you a deal. Mark said, keep her talking. We're a one-party consent state. Record your call. I'll join on a 3-way from the office so our system captures it with your consent. So, as Kylie talks, I know Mark is on the line. Our office system recording with my consent. My handheld recorder is backup. What kind of community spirit are you talking about, Kylie? I ask, playing the part of the confused victim. I make my voice sound a little shaky, a little desperate. Look, I just want my bike back. I'll do whatever it takes. That's the magic phrase. It's blood in the water for a shark like her. Well, she says, her tone brightening. There are those outstanding fines, a few thousand, I believe. It's all very messy. Lawyers, court dates, it's a headache. She pauses for dramatic effect. But what if it could all just go away? I can picture her on the other end, a smug smile on her face, thinking she has me right where she wants me. How? I ask. The association supports several wonderful charities, she says, the words rolling off her tongue with practiced ease. There's one in particular, a youth outreach program that could really benefit from a donation. A vehicle donation? I let the silence stretch. You want me to donate my Harley? I ask, making sure the words are clear. You want me to sign over the title of my stolen motorcycle to a charity? She chuckles, a dry, unpleasant sound. It's not stolen, Ben. It's just misplaced. Think of it as a donation. You sign over the title to the bike, we get it to the charity, and I will personally see to it that all of your fines are waived. The entire slate wiped clean. No more letters, no more trouble. You'll be a member of the community in good standing. Everyone wins. There it is. Quid pro quo, the offer. The crime neatly packaged and delivered on an official recording made with my consent. She's offering to resolve a theft that she orchestrated in exchange for the title to the stolen property. It's cleaner and more damning than I could have ever hoped for. Let me think about it, I say, trying to sound like I'm actually considering her insane illegal offer. I need to make some calls. Her voice hardens instantly. The velvet glove comes off. There's nothing to think about, Ben. The offer is on the table today. Tomorrow, who knows where that bike will be? Parts get sold, things disappear for good. I'd hate to see that happen to such a beautiful machine. You have until 5 She hangs up. The line goes dead. For a moment, I just sit there in the silence of my kitchen. The trap has been sprung and the predator is inside. Mark Dwyer shows up at my house an hour later. He's not in a suit. He's wearing jeans and a polo shirt, looking more like a weekend dad than a prosecutor. But his eyes are sharp, analytical. He's carrying a briefcase. "She took the bait," he says as he walks in. "It's not a question." "Hook, line, and sinker," I reply, handing him my small digital recorder. "Here's my backup." He pulls a laptop from his briefcase and sets it up on my kitchen table. "This is the official recording," he says, playing the file. We listen to the whole conversation again. Kylie's voice fills the room, confident and condescending. Hearing it a second time, knowing it's all been captured legally, sends a wave of relief through me. This isn't just my word against hers anymore. This is hard evidence. "It's beautiful," Mark says with a grim smile. "It's a textbook case of extortion. She linked the return of stolen property directly to the forgiveness of manufactured debts and the donation of that same property. She's toast." He opens his briefcase again and pulls out a series of folders. It's time to assemble the weapon. We spend the next 2 hours laying everything out, piece by meticulous piece. It's an assembly line of justice. First, my paperwork. The original title for the Harley Davidson, clean and clear, with my name on it, notarized when I inherited it from my grandpa. The current registration and insurance. The foundation. This establishes without a doubt that I am the legal and sole owner. Next, the HOA file. I hand him my binder. It's thick. Every single violation notice Kylie ever sent me filed in chronological order. The commercial vehicle notice, the excessive noise fines, the aesthetic blight letters. Beside each notice is a copy of my formal written response. It shows a clear pattern of harassment, a systematic campaign to build a fraudulent basis for action against me. Mark flips through the pages, nodding slowly. "This is great, Ben. You did the work. You established a record of contesting these claims reasonably and legally. Then comes the digital evidence." Mark plugs a thumb drive into his laptop. First, the video from my garage camera. We watch the silent professional theft again. He has me pause it, and we get a crystal clear screenshot of the tow truck's license plate. Plate number checks out to a company called Apex Asset Recovery, Mark says, reading from his notes. It's a shell. One director address is a P.O. box, but we'll get to that. Next, the AirTag data. He pulls up a map. A neat, clean line shows the path the bike took from my driveway to the abandoned strip mall. It's an unbroken chain of custody, digitally documented. This is our smoking gun for the theft itself, he says. It links the point of origin directly to the dump site. Incontrovertible. The final piece of evidence comes from an unexpected source. As Mark and I are working, my doorbell rings. It's my next-door neighbor, Rosa Alvarez. She's a sweet older lady who I always say hello to. She's holding her phone. "Ben," she says, her voice a little nervous. "I saw what they did last night. I was on my porch. I couldn't sleep." She shows me her phone. She had been sitting in the dark on her porch swing and recorded the whole thing from a different angle. Her video is shaky, but it clearly shows the unmarked truck, the two men, and them wheeling my Harley down the driveway. It corroborates my footage perfectly. Another witness, another nail. Mark is ecstatic. "Mrs. Alvarez, you may have just become the star witness for the prosecution," he tells her gently. She just nods, happy to help. We put it all together. The title, VIN, the mountain of bogus HOA notices, the AirTag map, the high-resolution photo of the tow plate, my camera footage, Rose's corroborating video, and the crown jewel, the full legally recorded transcript of Kylie's extortion call. It's a complete narrative of a crime, from motivation to execution to the attempted cover-up. Mark packs it all away, a neat and tidy package of legal dynamite. "Okay," he says, closing his briefcase. "We have everything we need to go the official route. Warrants, arrests, a whole court case. It would take months, maybe a year, but she'd go down." He pauses, looking at me. "Or," he says, a sly glint in his eye, "we can let her convict herself in the court of public opinion first. The HOA has a monthly meeting next week, doesn't it?" The week leading up to the HOA meeting is the quietest I've ever experienced in this neighborhood. It's the calm before the storm. I follow Mark's advice to the letter. I act like a man who has been defeated. I let my lawn go a little, just enough to be noticeable. When I see Kylie supervising the landscaping crew, I just nod grimly and go back inside. I need her to believe she's won. I need her to walk into that meeting feeling untouchable, arrogant. An overconfident enemy is a predictable enemy. Mark and I meet twice more, not at my house, but at a coffee shop halfway across town. We plan the entire sequence of events like a military operation. We are not going in there to argue or to plead. We are going in to present facts. Cold, hard, undeniable facts. You can't get emotional, Mark reminds me over a cup of black coffee. Your power is in your calmness. You're not an angry victim. You're a man presenting a case. Let the evidence do the shouting. He has prepared a short edited video clip. It starts with my garage cam footage of the theft, then cuts to Rosa's video from her porch, showing the same event from a different angle. It's seamless. He has also isolated the audio from Kylie's call. We select the most damning section, the part where she explicitly offers to make the misplaced bike reappear in exchange for me signing over the title, the donation part. It's short, less than 60 seconds, but it's utterly devastating. Mark has it all on a thumb drive, ready to go. He's also made a few calls. He's arranged for a neutral third-party paralegal to be present at the meeting to create an official transcript of the proceedings. Everything has to be by the book. We rehearse in a back booth at the coffee shop. Mark plays Kylie with a napkin crown. Rosa records us on her phone and keeps laughing at Mark's fake, polite voice. I practice my first line until it lands soft. No heat, just facts. Mark times the clip. 54 seconds. Short enough they can't breathe, he says. He slides me a donut for nerves. Also, evidence handling requires carbs. We print labels. Title, VIN, AirTag path, call transcript, clean fonts, big dates. Rosa brings t-shirts she made that say "Let Facts Talk." I tell her I can't wear it. She wears two. My part is simple. During the open forum section of the meeting, I will stand up and ask to speak. I will not mention theft or extortion. I will simply state that I have a question for the board president regarding my outstanding fines and a proposal for a resolution. I will ask for permission to play a short audio clip to provide context. That's it. From there, the evidence will take over. The plan relies on Kylie's own hubris. She will see me defeated and humbled, and she will be eager to perform her victory in front of the other residents. She will grant me permission to speak, expecting me to beg for mercy. She won't be able to resist the opportunity to publicly shame me one last time. It's a trap baited with her own ego. The night of the meeting, I put on a clean shirt. I run a cloth over my boots. I feel that same cold calm I felt the night of the theft. My grandpa used to work on complex engines, carburetors with hundreds of tiny, intricate parts. He'd lay them all out on a clean rag in perfect order before reassembling them. He said, "If you get the order right, if you respect the process, it will always work." That's what tonight feels like. We've laid out all the parts. We've cleaned them, organized them. Now it's time for reassembly. Now it's time to see if the engine will start. I think about my bike sitting in a police impound lot. It's safe, but it's not home. Home is my garage. Home is the open road. This isn't just about a piece of metal. It's about the simple right to be left alone, the right to enjoy what's yours without some power-hungry tyrant trying to take it away. I walk to the community clubhouse. Other residents are filing in, carrying their own little grievances, complaints about parking, about weeds, about noisy neighbors, the mundane everyday business of shared living. They don't know that tonight's meeting will be anything but mundane. I see Kylie at the front of the room standing behind a podium. She's wearing a crisp white blazer, looking every bit the part of the competent in-charge leader. She's smiling, greeting people by name. Evan is there too, sitting in the front row, looking bored on his phone. He's her little prince, here to watch his mother rule her kingdom. I take a seat in the back row. I don't make eye contact with anyone. I just sit and wait. The trap is set. The bait is laid. All I have to do now is wait for the queen to walk right into it. The meeting drones on, budget reports, landscaping committee updates, the new holiday decoration rules. I listen. I watch the clock. Kylie is in her element, wielding Robert's rules of order like a weapon, cutting off anyone who rambles, steering every conversation back to her own agenda. She's a master of bureaucratic control. Finally, she gets to the last item on the agenda. Open forum, she announces, her voice bright. Does any member of the community wish to address the board? This is it. I stand up. A few heads turn. I'm a known troublemaker. The guy with the loud motorcycle. All eyes go from me to Kylie, expecting fireworks. The board recognizes Mr. Hart, Kylie says, a tight, triumphant smile on her face. This is the moment she's been waiting for. I walk to the small microphone set up for residents. I keep my head down, My shoulders slump just a little. I play the part of a beaten man. Good evening, Madame President, members of the board. I begin, my voice quiet but clear. I'm here tonight to discuss the matter of my outstanding fines. I've had some recent significant personal property loss, and it's forced me to reconsider my position. I can see Kylie preening. She thinks I'm about to fold. I would like to propose a settlement. I continue. But to explain my proposal, I need to provide some context. With the board's permission, I'd like to play a brief audio recording. Kylie's smile widens. She is magnanimous in her victory. Permission granted, Mr. Hart, she says, practically beaming. I nod. I pull the small thumb drive from my pocket and walk to the laptop connected to the room's sound system and projector. I plug it in. On screen, caller ID and numbers blurred, timestamp visible. Instead of my voice, it's hers. The audio file Mark prepared. Kylie's voice captured from the recorded call. Think of it as a donation. You sign over the title to the bike, and I will personally see to it that all of your fines are waived, the entire slate wiped clean. A collective gasp goes through the room. People turn and stare at Kylie, whose face has gone white as a sheet. Her smile is gone, replaced by a mask of pure panic. Before she can say a word, I click the next file. The projector screen behind her flickers to life. It's the video, my garage cam footage of the dark tow truck, the two shadowy figures. Then it cuts to Rosa's video, the same scene from across the street. Proof. Corroboration. The room erupts in murmurs. The board members sitting next to Kylie are leaning away from her as if she's radioactive. Evan has his head in his hands, staring at the floor. Kylie grabs the microphone at the podium. This is fake. It's edited. It's slander. She shrieks, her voice cracking. But it's too late. The dam has broken. The other residents are on their feet shouting. Uncle Donnie is yelling about his fishing gnome. Another woman is shouting about a fine she got for her son's basketball hoop. All the little injustices, the petty tyrannies she inflicted are boiling over. The board's vice president, a man who has always been in Kylie's shadow, stands up. He looks not at me but at the other board members. I move for an immediate emergency executive session to discuss the conduct of the president, he says, his voice shaking but firm. Another board member seconds the motion. It's a coup. Evan blurts, "Mom, just stop." Then clamps a hand over his mouth. The room hears it anyway. Uncle Donnie holds up a tiny fishing gnome like a trophy. Return of the King. Someone snorts. Laughter breaks the tension for one crazy second, then the murmur swells again. A man in a suit near the back, quiet guy, never talks, steps forward. "She fined me for a wheelchair ramp," he says. The sound in the room changes. It's not gossip now, it's judgment. Kylie tries one last line. "I was protecting values." Rosa fires back from her seat. Values don't hide tow trucks behind dumpsters. The board stops whispering and starts acting. Kylie looks utterly lost. Her power, built on a foundation of intimidation and carefully crafted rules, has crumbled in less than 2 minutes. The evidence was too clean, too direct. There's no room for her to lie her way out of it. As the board members begin to file out toward a back room, the main doors of the clubhouse swing open. Mark Dwyer walks in, followed by 2 uniformed police officers and a woman in a business suit holding a badge. The state investigator. Mark walks right up to the podium, picks up the microphone Kylie had dropped, and taps it. "Good evening," he says, his voice calm and authoritative, cutting through the chaos. "My name is Mark Dwyer from the state attorney's office. I believe we have a few things to discuss. The aftermath is swift and surgical. While the HOA board is imploding in a back room, Mark and the state investigator, a no-nonsense woman named Detective Miller, take control. They start with Kylie, reading her rights in front of the entire room. She's arrested on the spot for extortion, conspiracy to commit theft, and a host of other charges. Evan is taken aside for questioning. He breaks almost immediately, telling the investigators that his mom had called a guy she knows from the towing company after the standoff and told him to go get the motorcycle tonight no matter what. He was her personal muscle, her deniable asset. He agrees to give a full sworn statement. He's just trying to save his own skin now, offering up his mom to the investigators. He's the final link in the chain, the direct connection between Kylie's order and the physical theft of my bike. We have her, not just for extortion, but for masterminding the entire crime. The paper trail is complete. The news spreads through the neighborhood like wildfire. Kylie Trent, our untouchable HOA queen, arrested. State investigation, extortion, illegal towing. It's all anyone can talk about. For the first time since she took over, the fear is gone, replaced by a sense of liberation. People who were once afraid to even paint their shutters the wrong color are now standing in their front yards talking to each other, sharing their own stories of Kylie's reign of terror. It turns out Uncle Donnie's gnome was just the tip of the iceberg. There were dozens of families she had targeted with bogus fines and threats, milking them for thousands of dollars in penalties that went into unaudited HOA accounts. It was never about property values. It was about power and money. With Kylie out on bail and facing a mountain of legal trouble, the neighborhood mobilizes. Rosa Alvarez, who has become a local hero for her cell phone video, helps me and a few other neighbors draft a petition for a special meeting to recall the president and censure the board members who enabled her. It's all done by the book, following the association's own bylaws, the very rules Kylie used to manipulate everyone. We need signatures from 25% of the homeowners. We get more than 60% in 2 days. We go door to door. It's an easy sell. I just have to say we're the people who are getting rid of Kylie Trent, and they grab a pen. People I've only ever waved to are shaking my hand, thanking me. The special meeting is held a week later. The clubhouse is packed, standing room only. The vice president, now acting president, opens the floor. One by one, residents stand up and share their stories. A young couple talks about how Kylie threatened to fine them for their baby stroller in the driveway. An elderly man describes the time she sent him a letter about his flagpole being 1 inch too tall. The stories pour out, a flood of pent-up frustration. When it's time to vote, it's unanimous. Kylie is recalled. The enabling board members resign in shame. A new election is scheduled. For the first time in years, the HOA feels like what it was meant to be. A group of neighbors working together, not a dictatorship. With the legal wheels turning, I finally get my bike back from impound. I sign the paperwork, pay the small fee, and there it is. My Dyna looking a little dusty but otherwise unharmed. I wheel it into my garage, give it a thorough clean, polish the chrome until it shines like new. I check the AirTag, still there, still working. A reminder of how close I came to losing it all. That night, I take it for a ride. The engine rumbles to life, a deep, familiar growl. I roll out of the driveway, past Rosa's house where she's waving from her porch, past Uncle Donnie's garden, where his fishing gnome is back in place, holding court among the flowers. Kids are playing, their parents watching without a care in the world. I pass Kylie's house with the for sale sign. I don't feel anger. I don't feel joy. I just feel quiet. The problem has been fixed. The engine has been rebuilt. It's time to ride. I turn onto the main road, the one that leads out of the subdivision, out toward the highway and the hills beyond. The wind picks up, cool and clean. Some people might think this was all about a motorcycle. They'd be wrong. It was about a line. Kylie Trent drew a line and dared me to let her cross it. She thought I would back down, that I would trade my freedom for a quiet life. But a quiet life bought at the price of your own self-respect isn't quiet. It's a cage. My grandpa taught me to fix things that are broken, and this neighborhood was broken. The question was never if I would fight back, but how. You don't fight a bully by sinking to their level. You fight them with the truth, with patience, and with a folder full of paperwork. You let them build their own trap. You let them walk right into it. And you never ever let them take what's yours. As I accelerate onto the highway, the lights of the city fading behind me, I think about my grandpa. He would have been proud. Not because I won, but because I did it right. Process and order. Fix the problem. Don't yell at it. The road stretches out ahead, open and free. No cages here. Just the rumble of American iron and the promise of the horizon. To expand this story further, I recall the days leading up to that initial confrontation. It wasn't just the bike that set Kylie off. It was everything about me that didn't fit her vision. I had moved into the neighborhood after my grandpa passed away. He left me the house in his will, a small ranch-style place with a big garage where he used to tinker with old cars. The bike was his pride and joy, a 2006 Dyna he bought new and maintained meticulously. When I inherited it, I promised myself I'd keep it running just as he did. The neighborhood was perfect for it, or so I thought. Wide streets, easy access to open roads. But Kylie saw it differently. From the moment I rolled the bike into the driveway, she had her eyes on me. The first sign of trouble was subtle, a note left on my door about community standards. Then the warnings escalated. I remember the day I got the first fine. I was in the garage, oil on my hands, tuning the carburetor. The mailman handed me the envelope, and I wiped my hands on a rag before opening it. The language was so formal, so accusatory. Your vehicle is in violation of Section 4.2, commercial vehicles prohibited. I stared at it, then laughed. Commercial? This was a pleasure bike, not a delivery truck. I sat down at my kitchen table that night, drafting my response. I researched the state laws, printed out definitions, attached copies. It felt like overkill, but my grandpa always said document everything. You never know when you'll need it. Weeks passed, and the responses came back, each one more insistent. I started talking to neighbors about it. Uncle Donnie was the first to open up. He lived next door, a widower with a garden that was his whole world. He told me about his gnome fine over a beer one evening. She said it was tacky, he grumbled. Tacky. It's a gnome with a fishing pole. Makes me smile every morning. I nodded, listening. Rosa on the other side shared her story too. She had gotten a letter about her fence being the wrong height. I measured it, she said. It's exact. But she wants it lower so she can see into my yard or something. Crazy lady. These conversations built a picture. Kylie wasn't just picky, she was controlling. She had turned the HOA into her personal tool. I decided to attend my first meeting after the second fine. The community center was bland, folding chairs in rows, a podium up front. Kylie presided like a judge. She wore a blazer even then, her hair perfect. The meeting was boring until the open forum. A few people complained about minor things, but Kylie shut them down quickly. When I stood up, all eyes turned. I spoke calmly, explained the noise issue, showed my decibel readings. The board nodded, but Kylie just smiled. We'll consider it, she said, but the fine stands for now. I left feeling like I had accomplished nothing, but I filed the minutes, added to my folder. As the months went on, the harassment intensified. Letters came weekly. I started seeing patterns. The complaints were always vague, no specific dates or times. I responded to each one, building my case. I even bought the decibel meter, tested everything. The lawnmower crew she hired was louder than my bike by far. I recorded that too. Neighbors started coming to me. A young family down the street got fined for their kids' toys in the yard. An old couple for their bird feeder. It was like Kylie was testing how far she could push. I advised them to document, to respond in writing. Some did, some just paid. Fear was her weapon. Then came the day of the confrontation. It started with a phone call from Rosa. She saw Kylie and her son walking toward my house, police in tow. I stepped out, jacket on, ready. The scene played out as I remembered. The cops checking the title, confirming no lien. Kylie's face when they said it was civil, not criminal, priceless. But I knew it wasn't over. That night in the garage, checking the air tag, I felt prepared. Grandpa had taught me mechanics, but also patience. Wait for the problem to reveal itself, then fix it. The theft unfolded just as I expected. Watching on the camera, I felt no panic. I had the footage, the plate, the tracker. Following in my truck, staying back. It was like a movie, but real. The strip mall was eerie at night, abandoned stores with faded signs. I hid, filmed, waited. The anger came when they dumped it behind the dumpster. Like trash. My grandpa's legacy. But I pushed it down. Called the police later, gave them the location. Watching them recover it on my phone feed was satisfying. The officer at my house, the same one, seemed almost apologetic. Good luck, he said. These cases are hard. But I had more. The call from Kylie came as Mark predicted. I played my part, let her talk. Her words so confident, so incriminating. Mark's involvement was key. He explained the law, how the recording would hold up. We built the case together, piece by piece. Rosa's video was the cherry on top. She had insomnia that night, sat outside. Fate, perhaps. The meeting was the climax. Acting defeated was hard, but necessary. Letting my lawn grow, avoiding eye contact. She bought it. At the meeting, her smile when I asked to speak. Then the audio hit. The room's reaction, gasps, murmurs. The video sealed it. Chaos ensued. Mark's entrance with the cops, perfect timing. Evan's confession broke her. The aftermath freed the neighborhood. Stories poured out. Fines for everything imaginable. The petition flew. The recall meeting was triumphant. New board, fair rules. Getting the bike back, riding it again, that was closure. The wind, the road, freedom. Kylie sold her house, moved away. The neighborhood healed, kids played, gnomes returned. It was about more than a bike. It was about standing up, fixing what's broken, with patience and proof. To delve deeper into my backstory, I think about my grandpa often. He was a veteran, worked in a shop his whole life, taught me everything about engines. We spent summers in his garage, him showing me how to change oil, adjust chains. The Dyna was his baby. He rode it on weekends, told stories of road trips. When he died, the bike became my connection to him. Moving to the house, I felt his presence. The garage smelled like oil and metal just like his. Kylie disrupted that. Her rise to power was gradual. I learned from neighbors she moved in a few years before. Divorced, with Evan. She volunteered for the HOA, then ran for president. Her platform sounded good, but it was a mask. Power corrupted her quickly. Fines increased, rules tightened. People whispered, but did nothing. My resistance started small, but grew. The folder I kept was inspired by Grandpa's habit. He had binders for every car he fixed. Details matter, he said. During the escalation, I had doubts. Nights I wondered if paying the fines was easier. But no, it was principle. The standoff day, I was ready. The cops were fair. Kylie's anger was palpable. That night, waiting for the theft, I sipped coffee, watched the feed. When they came, it was smooth. Pros, but I had tech on my side. The AirTag was a last-minute addition after the first fine. Good call. Following them, heart steady. The dump site, watching from afar. Calling police, waiting. Mark's involvement came from a bar conversation months earlier. He loved bikes, we bonded. His advice was gold. The extortion call, her voice so sure. I baited her perfectly, assembling evidence with Mark, like building an engine. Every piece fit. Rosa's video, unexpected gift. Her nervousness, but determination. Star witness indeed. The week before the meeting, tension high. Rehearsals with Mark and Rosa. Light moments amid seriousness. The night, calm focus. The room, her confidence. Then the reveal, her panic, the room's outrage. Stories flooded. The coup, Evan's slip. Laughter at the gnome. Mark's arrival, arrests. Evan's statement tied it all. Neighborhood transformed. Petition drive, unity. Recall vote, catharsis. Bike home, polished, ridden. Freedom won, line not crossed. Fixed with truth. Expanding on the neighborhood dynamics, there were other characters who played roles. Take the young couple, the Millers. They had a toddler, got fined for toys. They signed the petition first, shared how Kylie threatened liens. Or Mr. Patel, the quiet man with the ramp. His wife was disabled, the fine cruel. He spoke at the recall, voice strong. The board members, some regretful, resigned quietly. New election brought fresh faces, like Rosa running for secretary. She won, brought common sense. Uncle Donnie became treasurer, watched funds closely. No more unaudited accounts. The community events changed, barbecues instead of formal meetings, kids' playdates, neighborly chats. My bike became a symbol, kids admired it. I gave rides sometimes, with permission. Kylie Keeshan's house sold to a nice family, no drama. Her trial loomed, but that was justice's job. I focused on riding, remembering Grandpa. Roads called, wind healed. No cages, just open horizon. Reflecting on the emotional toll, there were sleepless nights. After the theft, anger simmered, but control won. During the call, hearing her threat, temptation to lash out. But patience paid. At the meeting, seeing her fall, no joy, just relief. Neighborhood gratitude overwhelming. Handshakes, thanks. Rosa baked cookies, Uncle Donnie shared garden veggies. Bonds formed. The bike, once targeted, now celebrated. I upgraded the garage security, added cameras. AirTag stayed. Preparedness key. Grandpa's lessons lived on. Fix problems methodically. The story spread beyond the neighborhood. Local news picked it up. HOA abuse exposed. Other communities inspired. Calls from strangers, advice sought. I shared, document everything. Truth prevails. Writing now, peace found. Line held. Freedom intact. To add more depth to the preparation phase, after the extortion call, Mark and I met several times. We reviewed laws, ensured recording legality. He contacted the towing company, traced the shell corp. It led to a friend of Kylie's ex-husband, loose connection but useful. We prepared backups, multiple copies. Rosa joined one meeting, her video enhanced for clarity. She practiced her statement, in case needed. The coffee shop became our war room. Donuts and strategy. Mark's humor lightened mood. He mimicked Kylie, we laughed. But focus sharp. The thumb drive, labeled, tested. Audio clear, video synced. Paralegal confirmed, neutral presence, plan airtight. Night before meeting, I reviewed folder. Thick with proof, slept soundly, ready. At the meeting, air thick with anticipation. Budget talk dragged. Open forum, my moment. Standing, heart steady. Slumped posture, defeated act. Kylie bought it, permission given. Plugging drive, fingers steady. Audio played, room shifted. Her voice, damning. Gasps. Video followed, visuals sealed. Murmurs to shouts. Her denial, weak. Stories erupted. Gnome, ramp, toys. Vice President's motion, seconded fast. Evan's outburst, telling. Laughter, then seriousness. Mark's entry, authoritative. Rights read, cuffs on. Evan's talk, full confession. Direct order from her, chain complete. Aftermath, board dissolved. Petition swift. Signatures poured. Recall unanimous. New era dawned. Bike retrieved. Impound visit routine. Dust wiped. Chrome shined. First ride, liberating. Neighborhood waved. Peace restored. Delving into Grandpa's influence, he was more than mechanic. War stories, life lessons, patience in adversity. He faced bullies in his time, always with facts. The bike, his escape. Road trips to mountains, coast. Stories of sunsets, wind. Inheriting it, I felt duty. Maintaining it, rides honored him. Kylie's attack felt personal, against his memory. Fighting back, his way. No yells, proof. Victory, his legacy. Now riding, I feel him. Engine rumble, his voice. Horizon endless. No end to the story, just continuation. Freedom earned, maintained. Adding subplots during the wait, I helped neighbors. Advised on fines, responses. One, the Millers, contested successfully. Inspired others. Underground resistance formed. Whispers over fences. Petition not surprise. After arrest, audits revealed misused funds. Thousands recovered, dues lowered. Celebration barbecue, my bike center. Kids touched chrome, awed. Stories shared, laughter, healing. Kylie faded, lesson learned. Community stronger. My role, catalyst, but credit shared. Rosa, Donnie, Mark, team effort. Ride on, wind calls. Fixed, free. To reach the desired length, I can describe the daily life in more detail. Mornings, coffee, check mail for notices. Evenings, garage time, wrenching. Neighbors' routines, Donnie gardening, Rosa baking. Kylie's patrols, notebook in hand. Tension built gradually. After theft, long night watch. Coffee cups piled. Dawn break, relief. Police arrival, methodical. Officer chat, shared respect. Mark's visits, deep discussions. Law intricacies, strategy tweaks. Rehearsals repeated, nerves managed. Meeting day, routine normal. Shirt ironed, boots polished. Walked to clubhouse, neighbors nodded. Inside, seats filled. Agenda plotted. My turn, executed perfectly. Fallout, chaotic but just. Arrest, quiet efficiency. Days after, normalcy returned. But better. Rides longer, appreciation deeper. Story full, words many. End with reflection. Line not crossed. Fixed with care. Road open.